Do you ever feel like your romantic partner is emotionally manipulating you? Are they using the best parts of your personality like loyalty, affection, and generosity to take advantage of you and control you?
Are they making you feel guilty, gaslighting you, twisting your words, and undermining you at every turn? If so, it's time to press the big red pause button as soon as possible.
Emotional manipulation is a serious issue that can destroy even the best relationship. Emotional manipulation is surprisingly common, but that doesn't make it any less serious.
Masters of emotional manipulation use their shady tactics at work, with their family, with their partners, and in every area of life.
Emotional manipulators are proof of just how depressing and disturbing mind games can be. Here's how to know if you're being emotionally manipulated. Emotional manipulation involves using sneaky and exploitative methods to control and influence someone.
A manipulator may use your vulnerabilities against you, hit you with dramatic ultimatums in your most stressful times, try to make you feel guilty about their problems that have nothing to do with you, and much more. These mind game masters have a dirty bag of tricks, and they aren't afraid to use every last one.
The results are guilt, shame, fear, doubt, cratering self-esteem. If you're not careful, you can get badly burned. One of the key tactics of an emotional manipulator is getting you on their home turf. Obviously, sometimes people just want you to meet them where they're at.
The difference is a manipulator will ask you to come to him or her even if they could easily come to you. It's also not a one-time thing. They never seem to want to come to you. They want to show you who's in charge and clearly demonstrate that they value their time more than yours.
They also want you on their home turf where they're more comfortable in slinging all sorts of other emotional arrows at you if they decide to.
A good example is a couple who are in a relationship but one of them always has to drive a long distance to visit the other because she says,
"Sorry, I'm so busy, you know I just got this new job. I know you're not working these days and you decided not to do that last job, the really good one I helped you get, haha. Maybe it's better you just come to me."
Notice the "not's a subtle put down" buried in there as well. We'll get to that later in the list. One of the trickiest things about an emotional manipulator is that they often seem caring and respectful, at first. They can often be a good listener who encourages you to open up. They seem to be appreciating you and will often comment in empathetic and sympathetic ways about the problems or experiences you share with them.
You often find yourself speaking first and opening up while they remain more guarded and encourage you to vent. Then, days, or even weeks or months later, they will use any and everything you've told them about your secrets, struggles, beliefs, and life experiences against you. For example, an emotionally manipulative man may sympathize with his wife's difficult day and ask her to tell him more. "I've just been feeling so stressed lately, like I'm going to burst," she says. "I don't know if I can handle all these responsibilities anymore." A month later, she has an exciting invitation to her friend's wedding and asks her husband if he can come this weekend. His response:
"I thought you were too stressed to put more on your plate. If you have so much free time, maybe you can start making dinner more often."
An emotional manipulator doesn't listen to you and let you talk first because they care, they do it to find your weak spots and get more power over you.
If there are people in your life who are trying to manipulate you like this, it's essential to learn how to stand up for yourself, because you do have a choice to end this cycle of pain and misery.
Emotional manipulators lie like they breathe. They will twist your words like a giant Bavarian pretzel, with extra salt. This includes constantly downplaying how much they were the cause of a problem and overstating how much you were the cause of a problem.
Emotional manipulators put words in your mouth constantly. When an emotionally manipulative individual can't think of a way to distort your words or lie, they will simply change the subject.
For example, if a man asks his emotionally manipulative girlfriend over dinner, "And what happened with the money they had to pay off on a bill that's long overdue, which she promised she would pay 2 days ago," she might say,
"Don't worry about it. Do you always have to eat so fast? Honestly, it's kind of a bit much, hun." This puts the focus back on him and something he is supposedly doing wrong or in a way which makes him the problem.
Certainly, some emotional manipulators will just straight up lie or distort. "Yeah, for sure, I paid the bill last week," or "The company is being really confusing, I think they said their website is broken."
But others won't even bother lying and will just put you down and make you the problem no matter what the situation is instead of responding directly.
This is closely related to the other signs of manipulation and control, but it deserves its own section. That's because it's super toxic and shocking and you need to know it, if you want to dodge the sludge that a manipulator will throw at you. Emotional manipulators truly don't care what's true. They only care how they can use information to control or influence you. Sample situation involving this. Can you please pick me up early from work if it's not too much trouble? Asks Bella. Sorry, I think the car is having some problems. I think it's better you take the bus today, answers her emotionally manipulative girlfriend Jenny. Actually, if you can give me like max $1,500, I'll go get it fixed. Well, it takes an hour longer by bus, but yeah, okay, I understand, Bella says. 3 weeks later. Let's go to that new home decor store in town. I hear they have amazing stuff, Jenny says. But I thought the car had major issues, and you said you didn't spend the money I gave you on it because you needed it to pay your personal trainer. Bella asks. I think the car's no problem. I was just stressing last week, emotional manipulation expert Jenny says. 2 hours later, they are stranded on the side of a busy highway waiting for an expensive tow truck. Jenny only used the car's problems as an excuse to not pick up Bella and has now put them in an awful situation. Emotional manipulators don't really care what's true if they can take advantage of you in some way, but they often love to hurl red tape and roadblocks at you as a way to wear you down. They want to get you into their orbit of control, like the tractor beam of an alien spaceship. And you don't even want to know the kind of experiments this emotionally manipulative Machiavellian wants to do on you. Nor do you want to find out. An example would be if an emotional manipulator is trying to shirk responsibility around the apartment or house and you are getting tired of doing everything. Do you think you could help out just with taking out the recycling, hun? Asks Jenny. Don't you know the municipality passed a new law? Do you, read the papers ever? Everyone's talking about it. You have to sort it in a whole new way, but the specific info is on the website and I think we don't have the program to get that pamphlet. Honestly, I don't have time for this. You're better off just tossing everything in the trash. Emotional manipulators are like human bullhorns. No matter what you say, they say something else louder and bigger and more confidently. Unless you're telling them information they can use against you or manipulate in some way, they will often drown you out or simply talk while you talk. They will finish your sentences in ways you didn't mean and just plain talk over you. Even when they agree with you on something simple, they will often rephrase it if you made the first suggestion so that it's now theirs. For example, a man ordering for his girlfriend at the restaurant. When she just finished already ordering and repeating what she just told the waiter with one or two added emphases about the order, but in a slightly condescending tone of voice, as if his girlfriend is a silly child, who doesn't know what she wants, or eats food that's funny, or less than worthy in some way. You know how some people are like a ray of sunshine that seem to put out good vibes no matter what. An emotional manipulator is basically the opposite. Except for when they are playing fake nice or temporarily relaxing their mind games, these folks tend to be highly negative. Emotional manipulators are a problem looking for a place, or more like a person, to happen to. They're always the victim, their problems are always worse than yours, their needs are always more important than yours. An emotional manipulator wants you to join their feeling bad club, and thinks that by getting you to feel bad too they will feel less lonely or unstable. Instead, it's always just a lose-lose situation for everyone. Your brother died of an overdose this time last year, I know. It's so awful, babe. My friend Nick is currently in treatment and says he's going to kill himself. I'm so worried. I couldn't even sleep last night. That's why I was a bit rude today. It's just so heavy. At least with your situation it's in the past now. I just don't know what to do about this. Emotional manipulators love ultimatums. They will often combine them with other tactics discussed in this list. I've been feeling so down, you're never around and I feel like you're not committed enough to our relationship. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Work has been so busy and the problems with my family are stressing me out so badly. Honestly, I'm feeling so shitty. If this continues, I think I'm not even gonna keep going to work. My boss said if my performance doesn't pick up in a week, I'm gone. I guess you also think my performance in bed isn't good enough too, Just can't win these days, I guess. Here, the emotionally manipulative partner has made an ultimatum disguised as a discussion. They are saying if the other partner doesn't change their schedule and life to be more available, then it will result in them losing their job. They are also making the partner feel guilty for having not been satisfied in their intimate life. Do it or else. When you hear these words, be careful, you may be in the presence of an emotional manipulator. Being a bully is emotional manipulation. 101. One of the biggest signs of manipulation is when someone is constantly undermining, teasing, and belittling you, and not in a lighthearted or funny way. A manipulator will often embarrass you in public with a dig that they know will get to you in a deeply personal way. They also love to use backhanded compliments that show they're better than you or that you're a failure, incompetent, and so on. An example would be Brown commenting on his boyfriend Kelly's cooking skills at a get-together with well-to-do friends and professional colleagues. Hey, at least he's trying. He didn't really grow up around these kinds of recipes or had someone to teach him, did you, Kelly? Yeah, rough upbringing for sure, fighting by age 5 was it. Haha, really impressive stuff for sure. This what is it, lasagna, right? Haha, sorry, I'm just joking, cutie, haha. Perhaps Kelly confided he grew up in a very poor and rough environment in a single-parent home. Now Brown is using both his higher class and Kelly's broken family to take a dig at his partner and make him feel like garbage and out of place in their high-class friend gathering. One of the questions that often comes up is, do manipulators know they are manipulating? The answer usually is a mix. They sort of do, but they also become so good at it that it becomes like their second nature. Emotional manipulation can become such a habit for some people that it's their go-to move whenever they don't get what they want or are unhappy. And that's pretty sad. To offset their own feelings of inadequacy and weakness, they will often tell you all the reasons you're not good enough. It's one of the bright blinking red light and flashing police siren signs of manipulation and control. Even if some of the criticisms they're making about you are true, the point is the manipulator isn't focusing on positive things about you for a reason. They want to bring you down to their level and get you to submit to their world of blame and toxic codependence. Don't do it. An example would be an emotionally manipulative wife yelling at her husband's driving while he's trying to focus and is actually driving quite reasonably. God damn it, Brown, you drive like a maniac. Can you try to turn without making me fall off my seat?
I'm trying. Just let me focus.
Maybe if you focused, we wouldn't be out here with the cops thinking you're driving drunk, you idiot. Get your act together, seriously, Brown. Another of the glaring signs of emotional manipulation is fairweather friend syndrome, FFS. The emotional manipulator doesn't tend to be very into sticking by you in your tough times. But you can be very sure they expect and demand you stick by them during their tough times, which also become your tough times. Even worse, if they do stick by you through illness, financial problems, personal issues, or anything else, you can guarantee you're going to be hearing about their grand heroic generosity and dedication for as long as you're around them in the future. They will tend to milk you for whatever affection, money, time, and attention they can get by telling you much your problems are bringing them down, and then bail when they can't get more out of you. An example would be an emotionally manipulative man who wants more sex from his partner but knows she is going through a serious bout of depression.
Can't you just increase the dosage of your medication, hun? Yikes. I feel like I haven't even been with you in years.
I told you, babe, I'm already at the maximum dosage, and also one of the side effects is decreased libido. Plus the doctor said this treatment is going to take time.
Oh my god, seriously. Like, what even happened to you that you're so depressed? Did you know last week I found out my favorite high school teacher died of cancer? You don't hear me complaining all the time.
There are many signs of manipulation, but perhaps the biggest of all is how they stoke and feed on self-doubt and low self-esteem.
It sometimes seems that the emotionally manipulative person is singularly dedicated to making you feel bad about your life and your relationship to them, no matter what you do or how much you try to improve.
They will gaslight you constantly, making you feel things are your fault which are actually their fault.
And the manipulator will often sidestep open conflict to instead come at you in sneaky, disingenuous ways that lower your self-esteem and have you doubting your own judgment and mental sanity.
There are many signs of manipulation and control, but this one has to be at the top. The emotional manipulator isn't there for you, they are there to bring you down and then make you into their emotionally traumatized sidekick and servant.